Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the month of May 2022. This is a general reading, so feel free to take with you whatever resonates and leave behind for others whatever does not. To get a deeper view of your month, be sure to check out your readings for Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. I am starting off with a Celtic cross spread for the tarot card reading, and I'll close off with an oracle card message. So let's get to it. So far, it seems like there are cards here that are good and not so good. So what I'm going to do is I'll go through, identify the cards in the different positions, and go through the meaning and clarify. So I'm going to be putting out more cards, so I want to make sure I have enough room here. So in terms of the current situation, you have Seven of Cups, and it is crossed by the Nine of Swords. In terms of what's above, you have the World card. What's below, you have the Tower card. In the past, there's the Eight of Wands. In the near future, the Priestess, High Priestess. Your current view of the situation, you have Four of Wands. In your environment, the Empress. Your hopes and fears, you have the Lover's card, and the outcome, you have the Seven of Wands. So with sevens, yeah, the outcome and the current situation, it's usually some kind of assessment, examination, a test of some sort. And here, the current situation with the Seven of Cups indicates possibly a test of your hopes, what it is that you want, whether it's a career, you know, if it's love, if it's a fancy car, traveling. And then in terms of what's crossing it, you have the Nine of Swords, which is a sense of fear, anxiety, worry, stress. This could be affecting your sleep, causing nightmares, headaches. For some of you, it could be that you are really not sure about what it is you want, and that anxiety, that's overthinking is causing anxiety. To some degree, this could be really people experiencing nightmares, or a sense of reality that is kind of troublesome in terms of how they're perceiving problems and going about trying to solve those. Basically, a sense of trying to figure out what the plan is, what to do next, but really not having a good way to analyze what the real threats are, cost benefit analysis. It seems like to some degree there might be a sense of just not having a certain clarity for whatever reason. In the past, you have the Eight of Wands, which indicates something was occurring really quickly. Something happened or is happening pretty fast. It could be that you're trying to keep up with it, trying to get ahead of it, which might be leading to a sense of looking at all these different variables and having angst about it. In terms of your current attitude of the situation, though, you have this Four of Wands. And the way I'm kind of looking at this is you should be feeling happy, a sense of freedom and a new path for you. That's kind of the way you are looking at this. That maybe even that this is what it looks like when you have options and freedom. In terms of what's above with the World card, it could be that, for some of you, maybe you received some degree, you completed some journey. Maybe you finally got your dream job or into the career you're looking for, but basically you're thinking, okay, I've made it past that marker, and I'm starting on my new journey down this path, which would kind of correspond with this view of a Four of Wands, like some type of milestone has been reached. In terms of what's below, you have this Tower here. For some of you, this could be something you've already experienced that is associated with this Eight of Wands in the past. For others, it could be something that you have not yet experienced. But it's a sense of really having divine intervention come in and break down certain like false beliefs, misunderstandings that you had, where it gave you a sense of security. It could be that, for example, if this has to do with somebody, getting a degree, graduating, getting some type of license certificate, and almost having this attitude of like, well, you're supposed to be celebrating a milestone. It's supposed to be about you, having freedom and also being established in a certain area where you can pursue what you've been learning. But here, in terms of the belief that isn't holding things up, it's that really a lot of degrees, schools, they teach you certain things, but they really don't provide a lot of real world experience for you to understand exactly what to do once you've gone out into the world. So that's an example of a situation like that. In terms of your environment, you have the Empress, and this is external influences on you. So it could seem like there's just so much abundance out there, so many options, so many things that you can bring into existence, so many ways to be creative and make a new product, make a new song, a new movie, a new book, a new makeup, article of clothing, whatever it is. But if you don't feel you have a solid foundation to actually get to that, and you're not exactly sure what you want to focus on creating, it could seem to have a sense of, and create a sense of anxiety. In terms of your fear, hopes and fears section, you have the Lovers card. So I would say, for some of you, it is, you're hoping to find love. You're hoping to make decisions, the right decisions for long-term benefit, not only in, finding romance, but um, business choices, friendships, things like that. And the flip side is that you're afraid that you're not going to make those right decisions and connections going forward. In terms of the short term, you have the priestess here, high priestess. Um, Basically, it's a sense of trusting your intuition, your gut, and really accepting that there are pretty much infinite possibilities and that you can't really, worry about them all, control them all, influence them all. You just have to be accepting of, you know, what's there and just be aware of what's there. In terms of the outcome, you have the Seven of Wands, which is it's a sense of having an inner conviction. So through this process here in the month of May, it seems that you might be able to come out with having a sense of, a better sense of what it is that you want, what it is you're willing to stand up for, and what it is that you believe. It's your truth. So let's take a look at the Eight of Wands here in the past. You have the Five of Swords. That is kind of a sense of a false victory, possibly not knowing when to walk away from a situation. For some of those that this has to do with a, education, career, it almost is if like you got what you wanted, or you were working towards what you wanted, or are working towards what you wanted, but you're not really sure if that's for your best and highest good, and you really just kept going and didn't know when to walk away. And things are just like in motion right now. So let's take a look at the Four of Wands here, which is your current situation or attitude of this situation. You have Six of Wands. So in terms of your community, they're pretty much giving you accolades. They're really congratulating you on overcoming some obstacle, some type of victory. Could be this victory here that is a sense of false victory, because it's almost as if you really didn't know when to stop pursuing that goal, or it's like a sense of really not for your best and highest good. But here, in terms of you, you're getting a lot of props. People are pretty much, congratulating you. You were able to do this, and so it's almost as if that's like, well, this should be a lot greater than it is. So let's look at the Seven of Cups here in this situation. You have the Page of Swords, which is kind of really just trying to understand the options, getting all the information out there. And let's see what's going on with the Nine of Swords here. You have Six of Swords, which is a sense of, moving past difficult times and getting to where things are smoother, but you're still between two shores. You're still like in a transition. And even though there's an understanding that things will get better and what you know, the where you left was, you know, not going to get you where you needed to be, you still are trying to figure out your path forward. So it seems really here it's appropriate for the situation where you've kind of are still figuring out what it is you want, you know, the information you have, how to apply it in real life. And things are getting better, but it seems like you're currently feeling some anxiety about that. So let's look at what's above, which is the world. You have the strength card. So it seems here, you know, with the strength, being able to kind of have courage, stand up for whatever it is life is kind of sending your way. So what you're kind of thinking about is here what you experienced in the past, whether it's whether it is a move, completion of some type of education, or starting a new job, or getting into a certain career, even you know, possibly even a relationship. It's as if what you are kind of thinking is you should be like prepared for this. What you experienced in the past should prepare you for this new journey. You should be able to face whatever it is that's coming your way. So let's see what's below with this tower. You have the Two of Cups, which is about relationships. And it could be romantic relationships, it could be business relationships, friendships. So to some degree, this tower situation has to do with your ability to make the connections you want to make going forward in this terms of in your hopes and fears with this Lover's card. There's some belief, some basis, some, you know, way that you speak to yourself, the way that you communicate to yourself, that really isn't a good foundation for starting certain relationships. Perhaps you start certain relationships with a sense of not knowing what you want and a sense of anxiety, and just trying things out to see where you should go. That's fine. We're always learning from our experiences, but going into it with pretty much the anxiety of not knowing, as opposed to, hey, I'm just getting some information here. I'm looking at my options. I'm still kind of between two shores and like not sure exactly where I want to go. It's more of, what do I do? What's the right choice? How should I feel about that? So it's just nuanced approach to kind of looking at things that's different. Let's look at your hopes and fears, the Lover's card. You have the Two of Pentacles. It's about juggling, negotiating, trying to get your footing right. So it's definitely you're trying to make these connections. And the thing about the Two of Pentacles is you're constantly juggling priorities, you know, having fun, responsibilities, work-life balance, doing multiple tasks at the same time. You can, juggle these things with anxiety, potentially dropping them and stressed out all the time, or you can learn to go with the flow and start, kind of dancing with it and having control over what's going on where it's a bit smoother. So let's take a look at your environment with the Empress here, the influencing energies. You have Ace of Cups. So here you are surrounded by people that care about you and love you. Potentially, a support system like friends, like this community that's like congratulating you even. But your environment, if you seek support, it seems like your environment, people in your environment are willing to provide it, and they're open to, whatever it is that you're experiencing. It's almost as if there's no expectation. Like the Empress here just provides, nourishment. It is a source of creativity, of love, connecting with the senses. It's not necessarily about a judgment of how you get there type of thing. So that's kind of what I'm seeing is in your environment. There is support for you, possibly even someone who is, what's the word? A healer to some degree, possibly even I want to say like a witch, or some spiritual leader, someone that can really, potentially help you here. And also there are opportunities, so don't stress out about what opportunity to pursue and if it's the right one. Here it's kind of like, just go ahead and get the information, check things out, and you don't need to commit to anything just quite yet. There are a lot of options for you out here, Sagittarius. So, and here, and you can date a couple people at the same time. I read an article about someone who would date 3 people at a time on some dating app and not have any serious, relationships with them for at least 3 months. I believe that's what it was. So let's take a look at the High Priestess here in your future, which is a sense of like trusting your intuition and really, here with the moon, it's providing a sense of non-clarity so that the High Priestess can tap into it and sense what it is that needs to be brought to the surface and highlighted, and not about promoting anxiety. Let's take a look here. You have 6 of Pentacles, where it's really, balancing your wants, your needs. There are people there that are willing to help you if you ask for help. And just go by a sense of how you feel intuitively about something, or how your gut feels. But if your gut is constantly feeling, anxiety, that's not going to help. So find a way to find something in your environment, possibly even talk to someone about, um, you know, your diet, your health, things that will calm you, um, keep you healthy, in tune with your own body. Possibly going to a medical health professional just to make sure that there's nothing to worry about. If you're someone who worries about a lot of things, just get a clean bill of health or get checked out. Make sure that everything's good so that you can tap into your senses and kind of make sure that you're trusting the right things. So let's take a look at the outcome with the Seven of Wands. You have the Ten of Cups. So here this is like a process for you to start developing your truths, what you're willing to stand up for, what you want to really, in a way, fight for, but there's no really need to fight. It's almost as if you feel like you're being questioned about what you stand for and what you want. But this process will help you get to that point and really set you up for what it is that you want for your future. So I'm going to close off this reading with an oracle card and seeing which animal totem guides you in the month of May. You have Black Jaguar, Old Soul. Walk through life with confidence and grace. You have power from beyond the world. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dreams. So here with this Black Jaguar, the Old Soul, it's a sense of really you have a connection with the world that is, what's the word? It's not necessarily in this sense of analysis. It's like feeling what's going on around you and recognizing that experiences that you've had, what you've learned, this really adds to your ability to keep moving forward with wisdom. Like these life experiences will really help you to gain the confidence that you need to face whatever it is that's ahead of you. So I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective of your month, and we'll see you next time. Take care.